All right. Yay, Christmas. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Julia, and I am the owner of ITM Events. And with me, I have an amazing crew. Today, we are going to talk about Christmas parties and how in this virtual world, we can still have Christmas parties and how successful they can be in a virtual world. So I have brought some of my favorite gifting people to the table so that we can all talk together about what this looks like in 2020 and how their businesses can help you to ensure that you still have a great corporate Christmas event. So I'm just going to work my way around the screen and have each of you introduce yourselves. So Mark, I'll start with you.
Hi, thanks, Julia. My name is Mark Forget. I'm the proprietor and workshop facilitator for makatu workshops.
Awesome. Meredith?
I am Meredith Johnston. I work for a company called Boulevard, located out of St. Catharines, Ontario. So I work as a brand specialist out of our sales department, which would pretty much be like a sales representative and work with different companies, and it's fixed.
Awesome. Rosemary?
Hi, I'm Rosemary Vaughn, and I own a company called Gift Revel. And essentially, I work with Canadian artisans and producers and provide gifting services. Used to be mostly for conferences. Now it seems to be more remote parties, unfortunately, but here we are.
Amazing. Okay, so I want us to have just a short little discussion about what we're seeing in the industry of how companies are transitioning, or maybe even ideas that we haven't been approached about, but that we've thought about that we think would be super successful in a virtual world for companies, and how they can bring that Christmas and holiday spirit to life, even though we can't necessarily all be together in a grandly decorated room and sharing in all the festivities together. So does anyone want to jump in and start? Someone want to be voluntold? Rosemary, how about you? Awesome.
So, so virtual events obviously are happening. I have a few clients who are doing virtual events for sure, but most of my clients, it's not what we're providing and gifting is not actually associated to an event per se. They're just, we're doing hand deliveries at random dates for Thanksgiving or for Halloween, and now for the holidays. But I definitely do have some that are doing a virtual event along with that, but I don't know the details exactly what that means in terms of, how are they doing the engaging, or is it just everybody chatting and having a cocktail, or, is there a game that's being played, or some sort of a trivia? I mean, those are details I don't know because I don't on the planning side of things. So I'm sure they exist for sure because I have a couple of them, but I don't know what the dynamics behind that would look like necessarily. I mean, I have my own ideas, but that's not necessarily doing. Yeah.
Mark, what are you seeing in the industry for holiday parties?
Right, again, just to echo Rosemary, there are events going on, virtual events, whether they're Christmas parties. We're still seeing the conferences going forth virtually. And that's where I think a lot of my contacts are coming in, looking for swag for their conference delegates. Although they're all virtually, they still want to send them a box at home, with some of the sponsorship stuff, and with some of the sponsored delegate branded stuff as well. So that's what I've been seeing. Personally, with MPI, which I belong to, Meeting Planners International, they're hosting their holiday dinner virtually, and they've come up with where they're going to hire a chef and everybody gets to cook along at home and then enjoy their dinner together virtually in these little dining rooms instead of meeting rooms. So I think everybody's adapting as best they can this year, and certainly looking forward to be meeting in person next year. So that's what I'm seeing. Again, like Rosemary said, I'm not on a planning side, so I don't see exactly how they're executing their virtual meetings or exactly what they're doing. So
awesome. And Meredith, how about you? What's Brand Boulevard seeing these days?
So it's funny because we work with a lot of corporate companies that we're dealing directly with them, but then we also work with a lot of events-based companies as well, who are dealing directly with the end users. So we're seeing a lot of, people coming forward, and they're looking to try and do something different and engaging and try and get something into their staff's hands as well. So whether it's for, an actual event or for a thank you for, the entire year and kind of what everyone's been doing and kind of giving back to their staff. So that's what we've been seeing a lot of, is just trying to do something a little different and engage people in these virtual events that they're doing as well.
Right. So me being on the planner side, we haven't had any inquiries yet about holiday parties. But what we are seeing, and I think it's a very similar message to what the messages that was sent out about conferences and things, is we're trying to encourage people to not try to recreate their Christmas party the way they would normally have done it live, and to think outside the box and do something totally different in this virtual world, because it is so different. And if you try just to duplicate it, it won't turn out the way you thought. But if you approach it from a virtual perspective and how can we reach our people virtually, I think then the events are going to be super successful and open a door to years from now on how we can add other components to what we're used to having as a live event. I know for us in the industry, in the events industry, that month leading up to Christmas, it is so exhausting because we're attending so many festivities, so many parties. So maybe this virtual world, like maybe some companies will take this as an opportunity to keep people at home and take away from the stress instead of adding to it, maybe as a way of doing things. Instead of not having a party, like I think that's what we kind of seen, is that the industry had kind of gotten to a point where they were spending too much money and they just didn't want to do it. So they were just sending a gift, like sending a turkey off to their staff, right, instead of throwing parties. But maybe now we're going to turn into a little bit of a virtual world and add these home delivery options and things to it, which I think makes it really fun. So throughout 2020, I've watched all three of you transition and be able to build a new way of doing business. So I would love to hear how those transitions are working for you and what you're seeing, and how that is going to play into this holiday season, and what you're hoping is going to come from that in the holiday season as people start to really get serious and think about their holiday parties. Rosemary, do you want to start?
Sure. So yeah, I mean, obviously, things dried up pretty severely in March. After probably February was my best month ever in 3 years, or at that point 2.5 years. So it was a little disconcerting. And then I saw a lot of people scrambling to switch things to online, but I thought it was kind of maybe a bit early, as people were still in shock and things. And so I didn't really see that as an opportunity right away. So I took some, a little bit of time off and did some stuff on my website, and was trying to, consider some other options, like going into a marketplace style and stuff like that. But ultimately, for me, what the catalyst was, I worked with a client who we did a sponsor cocktail party. It was a remote sponsor cocktail party. So we did up all these boxes for, a cocktail party without alcohol, but all the stuff local, grown or Canadian made or whatever. And then, that was sent out. But this particular company is very well connected to the corporate industry. So from there, they were getting requests going, who did you use? And I didn't know this, and then it just went nuts from there. So now we're just kind of looking at, different ways of doing that. So we do a gift box service. Essentially, we do local, but we also, have quite a few clients who are doing shippings nationally as well. So we're a bit of both. And since I'm on Shopify, it makes it a little easier to sort of work with the shipping part of things and discounting and all that sort of thing, and label printing and whatever. So all that stuff is easy. So from there, we work with. We're trying to build online collections for people to take a look at that are specific. We got one for BIPOC Canadian artisans which is very popular. People just absolutely love it, and they've got beautiful things there. But we've also been approached to actually build a custom store branded to an organization where they have maybe a budget of $150 per person, but now we have 6 or 8 options within that budget where the employee can go online and order it directly and make their own selection. So that's something that's
interesting.
Just come out of the woodwork. So that's something that we're starting to promote a little bit. But to be honest with you, November 23rd is our last day to take orders, because you're looking at artisan stuff and it takes a while to get that stuff turned around. And yeah, so
right.
we're getting a couple of weeks away. That's it.
Yeah. Awesome. Meredith, how about you guys? So how has Brand Boulevard kind of transitioned that so that you'll be able to support corporate organizations heading into the holiday season? And maybe how is that looking different from previous years? Because this is where you guys sit pretty comfortably year after year, I would think. What is that looking like compared to past years?
So it's funny, even going back to say midsummer, we had people coming out and they were just saying, we want to do something different. We want to give back to our staff. Everyone's working from home. Our office is closed. So that's where we had to come in and kind of figure something out. Like, what can we do to get things into people's hands? So rather than shipping things directly to individuals, rather than directly to the company business, we're sending things directly to people's homes now too. So we've been, like Rosemary, we're working on a lot of kitting projects. So say we've got a proposal of 6 items that they're like, yeah, we want to get this all into our clients' hands or our employees' hands. We would get them to come back to Brand Boulevard. And now we've pretty much become a little workshop here. We've got our little elves from our operations team. We've been working on massive projects with 1,000 people. It's going to their individual homes, and we're kind of creating these almost like FabFitFun boxes. Like, I'm not sure if you guys know what those are. I'm sure you've heard it before, but it's kind of fun, and it's nice to have something sent to somebody's home where they open it up and they're not expecting it, and it's just something different than what you would get in a normal corporate event or a conference that you're attending. It's something a little more fun and different than what we're normally used to.
Love it. That's so fun. Now, Mark, your take on this is a little bit different because you have an experience that you can tag to that. Like, yes, you can create the products to have them sent out, but also there's a experience component. Do you want to talk to that?
Yeah, so again, makatu workshops created 15 months ago before the pandemic. And so everything was
welcome to entrepreneurship.
Right. So everything was going well until March 16th, I think, is when, March 13th, perhaps, that everything started hitting the fan, and everything that I had lined up for 2020 was just gone. So for, like, I'm sure with everyone else, for the first 2 weeks, I was in shock. I was upset. I was mad. But then, take a look and open your eyes. It's just not just targeting me personally. This is a worldwide pandemic. So I had to pivot, just like everyone else, and look at what can I do online. The platforms are there, easy to use. So yeah, I decided to start going online with some of my products. My products were more workshop related. So whether it's doing a medicine bag workshop, so your end product, something like this, but starts off looking like this first, to dream catchers. So my business is Indigenous based. I work with local products as much as I can. I'd say 90% of my products are locally sourced. Anywhere from the leather itself, this is how I get my leather. I then break it down into workable pieces. But then I've noticed that corporate was going by the wayside at that point. People weren't working in our offices. So workshops, although they were there because they wanted to bring their team back together virtually to do something except for just a regular Zoom call over numbers, they wanted something tangible and something fun. So that was great. But also I decided for the holidays to create this lineup of bookmarks. So these bookmarks are fun. So you can see they're branded. So this one is Miigwech, which is Ojibwe for thank you. I thought we have lots to be thankful for this year. We can always dream for that next vacation, and also have gratitude, which of course, I think we still have a lot to be grateful for. And then every once in a while, you just need to breathe and relax. So all these bookmarks are great because people are starting to read more. And these are great for Christmas because they're easy to ship. They're easy to give. You know, pair that up with a gift card from Indigo. It's perfect. It's a perfect little gift. It's locally sourced deer leather from the Ottawa Valley. I make everything in-house here. So everything is hand cut, hand put together. So there's that artisanal, you know, indigenous component to it as well. So I think people appreciate that. I think, I know I've worked with Rosemary Vaughn on some orders for her clients, which is good. And I hope they like them. And, you know, but yeah, it's again, shopping local, I think is very important. And knowing that there's that, you know, key factor of things that there's love going into these products that we're putting together for our clients as well, right? So I think they appreciate that. And so, yeah, so it's going okay. It can always go better. And a lot of the products, a lot of the orders I've had have been primarily large orders for corporate. So again, a lot of conferences are going on. And so my bookmarks are one of the faves out there because again, they could be branded with your logo and then pretty well shipped almost anywhere. I do have a workshop coming up for 60 for the medicine bag workshop. So it's not only hands-on, but it's also very educational. You learn about the, you know, the meaning of the medicine bag or the dream catcher in that matter, but also have other fun stuff like these fun tassels, keychains, right? Women love, and these colored ones are also locally sourced leather. They're just dyed that color. So again, it's just fun things. And these are brandable as well. I can brand these depending on what your logo looks like. I can also brand those. So it's a lot of fun. So,
Awesome.
but I'm really hoping for this to go and be behind us. And let's just get back to normal, right? So I think that's what we all want. That's all we all want. So
That's what we all need.
absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So thank you so much. I hope that the people that are watching are going to get some great ideas on how they can move their corporate events into a virtual space. And if they don't even want to do a full event, if they want to do a gifting opportunity this year instead of doing a full event, I think it's an amazing opportunity. And we are, like some of our own clients too, we're doing the same idea for their events as we're delivering boxes with like that are fit to the concept of the event. Like we have a breakfast event coming up, so we're delivering bagels and cream cheese and jam and all kinds of really fun stuff right in these boxes. And it's such a great opportunity. It's personal, it's fun, and it gets us back to that old-fashioned mail feeling, right? Like we had all stopped getting mail because everything goes by email, but now we're back to people having stuff delivered to their homes so they actually get to open something, which I think is so fun and so engaging, and you know, another experience, which I'm always all about the experience. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. I'll just give you each a minute to tell us where we can find you. If you just want to give us your website and email or Instagram handle or whatever it is you'd prefer people to be looking at, that would be amazing. Mark, do you want to give us yours?
Sure, it's makatu.ca, so MAKATEW.ca. And I can be also, I'm on Instagram at makatu20, and email is mark with a C at makatu.ca.
Amazing. Meredith, where can we find you?
So I've got my work email at meredith@brandboulevard.ca, and Meredith is MEREDITH, and Brand Boulevard is BRANDBLVD.ca. Or you can call the office as well. We've got a full office running here right now. So it's 905-682-0001.
Amazing. And Rosemary, last but not least, where can we find you?
So best bet is to go through my website, which is giftrevel.com, and that's REV like Victor EL, when you revel in something that's fabulous, like Canadian.
Amazing.
Yep. And you can contact me through that website. So you're good to go.
Amazing. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all of you.
Happy holidays.
Miigwech.
Christmas.